Welcome to our free webinar live today. The title is Introduction to High Impact Pharmaceutical Journal. This is introduction session. We are from University Malaysia Pahang, which is mechanical and automotive. Hopefully, if you are in the area of mechanical and automotive in transfer, then you can collaborate further. Then please contact us. This is just for the area of mechanical related lah. Okay. Our title today is Introduction to High Impact Journal Publication. Why high impact? Because it's very simple. We do research with high novelty, then we have new findings, new exploration, new process, new advanced material, new energy source, new law, new everything. And we contribute towards our better life of something like 17 SDG and also 2050 net zero emissions. All those research is for our mankind. That's what I mean by why high impact. Okay, and also why some people is having high H index. As you see, you can see some people is having like 20, 30, 40, 50 Scopus H index, because some people is they are always working, home, play, or even sleep. They book this is dream, and also dream of publication. Why? Because some people like to have visible. Some people need like to disseminate knowledge, something like that. Okay, our schedule for tonight is like this. Something like talking about. First speaker, myself, is on a journal and impact introduction. Second speaker will be Professor K.Kadirgama or K.Kadirgama will be on high impact journal publication paper. Okay, after that we have a Q&A session, and last is a photo session and closing. Right. I'm the first speaker. Myself. This is my introduction. I think no need to read because already in the poster for me. Okay, I'm actually like to read and write. That's my hobby. Okay, and my parts will be more on introduction. Why we have this and what is back and seniority, why mark puzzle list, predatory, fake journal, all those I'll cover for in the side. Okay, and second speaker will be Professor K.Kadirgama. He's about 20 years in academia, and holding 300 plus publication, and with an H index of nearly 40, and also having high grants research also. He will cover on writing strong, effective, title, abstract until the end of the conclusion and summation, the high impact papers, something like that. All right. And our objective tonight is actually on university branding, our KPI, and also we as author and we as something like the quality of paper that you are journal and also article. Journal is editor, article is author. That's where I mean. Okay. And UMP, we have you see in Malaysia, because we have international participant here. I just briefly here. We have 20 Malaysian government university in Malaysia, which is research university have 5, comprehensive university we have 4, and focus university. Focus university is on technical, education, management, and defense, where University Malaysia Pahang is on technical university. One of the 4 technical university, more on engineering and technology. We are on this one. Okay, just briefly. And we have 2 campuses. This is one of the campus, one of the angle only. Then we have PAKAD campus and Paya Besar campus, which 4 faculty each from those both campus. Okay, and we have 830 staff, academics, okay, lecturers, and we have 17,000 students. This is just number. Okay, then for tonight, the talk we arranged by Academy. This is Facebook. I share a lot of things here. You can search later. Then also by PAKAD Persatuan. This is academic team from University Malaysia Pahang. Okay. One of the important issue before we start writing is actually this one, similarity and plagiarism. Always. Last week we received a special submission for certain journal. after the conference. From 30 paper submission for journal, not for conference, but for journal, special issue. That 30 journal, about 40% is very high similarity and very low quality. Then we have to reject example. It's 40 over 40%. 40% is actually failed because of this. You see, even we are lecturers also miss out all this. With this example, are we stealing? This is the way. Okay. What is the plagiarism? Presenting someone else as our own, copy idea without proper citation, changing, replicate, provide false information. All these are plagiarism. And also we have to be mind that spectrum of offenses. Okay, example, if you use source too close with paraphrase and unintention, but if buying, stealing, borrowing paper, take from others, change the language, that deliberately plagiarism. But most of us happen here, copy from other source, or sometimes forgot to or accident or by purpose to cite properly. That's in the center of the spectrum of offenses. Okay, 7 best checkers, and this is content similarity checkers as for originality, Grammarly, can quote text, unit check, plagium, copyscape. All these are top 7, but anyway, normally in Malaysia we use this turning in. Okay, turning in is checking of similarity. Example this one 43%. Similarity. Also now we have AI similarity also. Okay, why we do research? Okay, now people or world is changing. If you see here, changing very fast, and also we have to change. Previously we are on VUCA, volatility, uncertainty, complex, and ambiguity. Okay, that's a VUCA. VUCA is vision, understanding, clarity, and agile. Now it's go to BANI, brittle, anxious, non-linear, incomprehensive, and it's more challenging. Okay, while we are doing research. Also, if we do research, we have to have this world-class research, outstanding of the quality and proposal research, and also winnable. These 3, then your grant will be funded. Okay. Then how we manage research and output? Actually, we have this vision, skill, incentive, resource, and action plan. Success. You miss one of these, become post-start, frustration, resistance, anxiety, and you without vision and mission, you are on confusing. Okay, something like that. Okay, and top challenge in the world, humanity. If you say there's 15. Actually, about half is actually the energy related, because of energy, and people we tend to have a challenge. Okay, why? Because energy is very important. Then if you see also SDG 2030, number 7 is affordable and clean energy. Then we back to the higher one, net zero 2050. Okay, this one will be more stringent on energy. If we take this, okay, example, research. If I take only one from the humanity problem, then if we take on example hydrogen energy, go back to the zero emission 2050. Okay, we have a lot of things to do from now about 2024 here until 2050. We have a lot of things to do. Fuel cost, power, anything, regional, everything. This is only one things in terms of energy, but we have a lot of things. The people from this one also, many area can contribute. Example, law, and they have a structure, they have policy, they have a guideline, all that. People from humanity, maybe they talk about safety for the hydrogen something. This is only one thing, but we have a lot of things to do. That's the researchers why we do research. Okay, example for 2020, a lot of high impact research can be done for only this one, only one. But we have a lot more to do in terms of this one. Why we must publish? Okay, is it for institutional branding or excellence? And Yes, everything. Institutional branding, which excellent, validity, presence, openness. Also, for us as a researchers, we are looking at prominent researcher as a researcher itself. Okay, and the difference between scholar and scholar output. Scholar is we as a researcher, a scientist. Output is as article, abstract, presentation, publication, journal. All that is a scholar output. Okay, in our life as a lecturer, if you're not a lecturer yet, you just see lah. If you're a lecturer, this is our responsibility. We call it in Malay 7P. Okay, but in English is teaching, research, writing, management, student development, consultant, and also community service. That's the 7 our responsibility. Okay. Our research outcome, we go to conference paper, high impact, research book, general book, popular article, or we perish. Don't do this. Okay. Then we take this 4 to 6 papers, journal, 1 in every 5 year book, something like that. Popular article is article for newspaper, good for public. Okay, if we see QS and time higher, these two is more than 70%. Both QS also same, time higher also same. Is actually the ranking come from research and citation. Okay, that's the I mean that from that. Okay, if looking at our KPI for publication, research outcome. Okay, we take here example journal, index journal. Our KPI is 2 per person. Index corpus for this is conference proceeding. Okay, this is half per staff per year, means 1 every 2 years. Okay, for this one, 2 in every 2 years, 1 in every 2 years. What 2 every year, 1 every 2 years. Okay, what I mean by absolute? Absolute is actually if we publish one paper with 5 authors, okay, each author will get 0.2. Okay, but if you want to have 2, then in this 5 we have to publish 10. Okay, from 5 to publish 10 become, if 5 authors, example, if 3 authors, maybe you can publish just 3 times 3, and 3 times 0.2, or 6 paper only, something like that. Okay, if we go to books, this is just I share books. Okay, 1 book for every year. For book, sorry, 1 book for 5 years. Sorry, I missed the word 5 here. 1 book for 5 years, and another one, book chapter, 4 book chapters every 5 years. Book itself 0.2 mean 1 book for every 5 years. Okay, that's the mean. Okay, now we have to decide whether we want to go like this, just straightforward, but we don't know what is at the end. But if we go very struggle everything, then we see the bright side at the end. Okay, that's what I mean. Are we ready to publish? See here, if our work is outdated, incorrect conclusion, duplicate work from others, this is not ready, not significant. But if we have put everything significant, new update, we are ready to publish. Okay, predatory journal, I just have something here. Actually, predatory journal is some people very clear. Example, very fast publication, payment very quick, and almost no review, or review very fast, very simple. That is a predatory journal. Okay, one librarian, he put online, you can see lah, list. I'm not sure if he update or not now, but one of the way to see. Okay, and Malaysia government, they already put down official, no money from government for these 3, Indawi, Frontier, and MDPI. That one is under government, but certain people, they don't accept it. But actually government don't send the journal from here, but no money only. No money for these 3. That mean that no money mean that don't spend the research there lah, something like that, to publish there, something like that. Okay, that's the way. Okay, this is the Indawi, this is the MDPI, and then Frontier example. Fake journal, this is really fake journal. Okay. You can see real and fake journal. Our Malaysian journal, MJLIS, has been cloned. Okay, this is the MJLIS, has been cloned from Universiti Malaya. The chief editor is my best friend also. MJLIS. You can see, this is real one. Okay, real website from MJLIS Universiti Malaya. This is fake one. Okay, exactly same. Okay, real and fake. Okay, and this journal they detect because of once people submit, they want to pay everything clear. Then after publish, then after author search in the real MJLIS, no mention about his paper or her paper. Then after that, they contact the editor. Then editor said you are not submitting anything. Then they check, oh, you submit to the fake journal. And fake journal means somebody copy everything and people submit the paper and pay. Maybe one issue they get some money. That's a fake. Right? Actually, it's very easy to do, but it's very high immoral lah, to do this. Actually, you can be jailed to do this because of faking the journal. Okay, the journal index and impact factor. Okay, if we take from here, this is a Malaysia case. Okay, we have my site and ACI, ASEAN, Scopus and WAS. Okay, this is case of Malaysia lah, because we have Malaysian citation index and also ASEAN citation index. Okay, and this is the database. This is common. And we have a lot. We have more like DOAJ, the core reference, everything. Okay, we have ERA if you like. ERA is not easy also to come in because ERA need support from Australian researchers for you to pub inside or index by them lah. Okay, key area for journal quality. This is journal policy, content, journal standing, regularity online. This is slide by one of the scopers, as they call it, scopers, who that manage the indexing. Okay, also my friend here, Peter Brimble-Comber, they're very hard to pronounce it. He presenting a lot on Scopus. Okay. Okay, this is example also for Malaysia case. We submit to the Ministry of Higher Education, Journal Center. Then they evaluate for my journal. Then they evaluate for my site and the ACI. Then after pass, then go to the ACI and also recommended for the ESCI, Scopus, and also finally WAS. This is the way on flow. Flow. We have a lot of index outside there. As like Scopus, SJR, we know, but some other index actually is by area and by research. Other not only engineering, but maybe medical or that. Like this. That's why some are we not. Yeah. Okay. This is the pyramid to show that quality from top to bottom. Actually, flagship. This is reality. Flagship actually WAS, and WAS also we have Q1, Q2, Q3, Q4. Then the second one, emerging index, ESCI for WAS, and this is for WAS if they lose criteria, but if for Scopus they have their own label lah. But in this slide they put Scopus together. Some people agree, some people don't agree, but this is just for your knowledge and information. For me, this is half true and maybe not really same. Scopus maybe if we really put and cut here and ESCI a little bit lower, as Scopus is here half. But some people put same level, but it's up to you. Below than that is actually regional regional like Malaysia, MySite, ASEAN, ERA, Australia, Medline. This is regional and also specialized in certain subjects. And lower than that, of course, this is the OAJs, Google Scholar. It's very general one, without very low quality. Okay, for the bottom one. UMPSA academic journal, we have about 15 journal now. This is a example of the journal. Highest quality is IJAME, JMS, both are mechanical engineering, and then others are we have language, software, governance and integrity, manufacturing system, mechatronics, and also others journal. Okay, and this is the system. If you want to search more, then just simple journal at ump.edu.my. That's our system. Okay, and in the world we have more than 50,000 title. Okay, title journal. Title means this one. This one. This is one title, two title, three title. In the world we have more than 50,000 title. Scopus itself 22,000. I think now is up to 70,000 already. Okay, and predatory is also waiting for you 1,500, and WAS is about half lah from Scopus. Okay, what is H index? It's actually based on number of citation. Higher citation is higher H index lah. H index start with personal, but after that also H index come to the journal itself, or they also measure by journal. Okay, this is how they calculate H index. It's very simple. How many paper you have, this is paper quantity, and how many citation you got for each paper. Example, now you have paper number 1, paper number 2, paper number 3, paper number 4. All this, if in this case 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and let's say here 6, 6. Okay, 6 and 6 example. 6 papers, cite minimum 6 times, and that's a citation of H index of 6. Okay, if in case researcher have 27, mean that at least 27 publication, each of that 27 receives 27 citation. Okay, that 27, 27. Of course, if you have a few hundred paper, but only example only 6 citation, very low, then others are just not get citation enough lah. Okay. And H index is actually start by J.E. Hirsch in 2005. He put how to calculate the research output, scientific, scholarly, something like that. Some people not agree with this, but if you not agree, then you have to propose others. But that's why now we have come out with many index, I-10 index, G index, A index, so many index. But that one is come after that. Okay, but still H index is the most used by worldwide. Okay, this example, myself, I have 27 H index example. Okay, then if you take C, paper number 1, I have 2755, 122, 193. But this one is top paper. They are cited by many people. But what is here is actually this one. Okay, I have 27 paper which is cited 27 times. Okay, then the junction here is actually 27. In order for me to get 28, I have to have 28, 28, and 28, and it become 28 papers cited by 28. If I want 30, this is already 30, 30, 30, 30, 30, 30, 30, and 30. All this 30, then I got 30 index. Why sometimes hard to increase the H index? Because of timing of the journal publication. Okay, if you do some review paper having long citation, then time, then you're having higher in H index lah. But of course, you have to mix up review paper and also research paper. Okay, what is the impact? Impact also looking for the citation also. Okay, citation is actually some sort like recognition. That's why it's not easy. Some journal, they ask author, if you submit paper to them, they will check and they ask you to remove certain reference because of they don't recognize that reference to be inside their journal, something like that. That's very, very harsh journal. They say remove this, and replace with this something because of recognition. What I mean by high impact? This is example. Easy example. First author, or for first paper, they saw the apple drop down. Then they say, oh, law of gravity. That's high impact. But then second person, oh, orange also same. Drop down. Oh, this is a law of gravity. That low impact. This is high impact because the first one. But after that, it's become no more novelty. Low. Okay. How they rank? Of course, citation. Okay. This is example of the length citation by years and so type of paper. If we see letters, they will see letter to editors, letter to authors. Then the impact is high within the impact factor years. Impact factor years is 2 years in this early. Within 1 to 3, that's the 2 years of impact factor. But if review paper for your H index, you have to have also this one. You can see that they have a long of review. Because why? Because example, you are student for postgraduate. The first thing you search for your paper to refer everything in general is you see where is the review paper that relevant to your area. Okay, very near to your research study area. Then from there you checking the set reference, you checking the author. From there you use expand. That's why review paper have taking up to 18 years, 20 years. This citation. Of course, some paper depend on area. Not I say everything. Depend on area. If area is very common, then people do many things. Maybe they refer to letters one, letter one. Then this one maybe is lower. But if a paper, that paper is very powerful, then they will become higher, even higher, or even higher. You must do the review paper, but of course you have to also do the research paper or that. But review paper you must have at least, example, once a year, something like that, or once in 2 years. All right. Yeah, if looking to the type of paper like nature plus one, number of citation for each paper and also number of paper is different. This is not years, number of citation example. Okay, some of course nature is a eye opener for the researcher. They will see this and they continue to do the new research, something like that. That's nature, nature Springer, nature science. All right. Different between research paper and review paper. This is very rough one. Okay. Typically, if research paper, we have 10 to 15 page, 5 to 10 figures, 30 to 50 reference. But review paper, comprehensive and also critical. Okay. Or even you do your bibliographic review, latest trend, they do some bibliographic review. Okay. Typically, there will be more than 60 pages roughly. And figures also a lot, and table summary sometime, and reference also is unlimited. Some paper up to 1,000 reference, but range between 80 to 250 is normal. This is the guide only, up to you to see how long you want to do review paper and how they review. Okay. Important or not is there, of course, very important. Citation means recognition. If you publish a few years ago and nobody cite, then you see the face. And higher you publish in good journal and getting a lot of citation, very high smile, something like that. Web of Science, okay, is actually start from ISI, now then ISI Thomson Reuters, then now no more ISI. And we call it Clarivate Analytics company take, and they call it Web of Science was. Okay, who start this? Dr. Eugene Garfi. He just passed away a few years ago. He's actually documented many things on this, how to calculate the citation index for sciences or that. In at least 1955, he already start some study on this, on sciences. Okay. And if you see this is WAS, Clarivate, and Scopus, then they have also universal index, equal value, half-life, I10, H index, or so many. Okay. And looking to WAS itself, okay, we have SCI. This is impact, the impact one, SCI, CCI, ZSCI, SCCI, BKCI books, CPCI, zoology record current. But if emerging emerging ESCI is that one is not yet impact factor. Okay, actually 3 area: quality, diversity, and relevance. All this then success in the middle. Okay, impact factor to calculate very easy. Example here now is 2024. Okay, example 2024. Then here is actually number of station in 2024 that published into 2 and 2, 3. Something like that. Very simple. divide by number of paper. That's why journal, the lower the quantity of journal, the higher the number of citation they get, the higher the impact factor. If you see impact factor 10, mean that total 10 divide by this one, the average is 10. Very short period. That's why if you manage the journal, or if you write the journal also, if possible, try to publish on January, February, because of paper tend to, example 2023 here, you publish December. Then how to get public citation on 2004? Just exactly 1 year, because December here just start and 2004 until December. Then try to publish early. If you're editor, try to publish good paper in January, February, early of year, and avoid to publish December, something like that. Okay, unless your issue is, or your volume is every month. Okay? If twice a year, then please put January and July. Okay? If 4 times, then become January, April, July, and October, something like that. Okay, and Scopus Shimago, they have a lot of calculation, something like that. When we don't understand, it's okay. Quartile is very simple, which is 20%, 5% each. Okay, Q1, Q2, Q3, Q4. If it's seasonal, 1 to 15 is Q1, and then last one, 46 to 60 is Q4. Okay, then some people not looking for this and this Q1, Q2. But ranking is actually depend on the multidisciplinary sciences in the area. Okay, core collection for loose impact and gain impact, and this is the duration. Okay, if you got this and got impact here, and loose impact down, loose quality go up, exit policy for the journal, something like that. Okay, and editorial flow for the Web of Science is like this. Is online submission and editorial triage, editorial evaluation. Then after ECSI coming, then this is ECSI, then impact, then this is impact lah, impact criteria. They have a lot of things they consider. If fail, sometimes they embargo for 2 years. Okay, then I have a little more on this one, but I'll go very fast on this. About general impact. We talk about impact, and we read, we discuss, we use, and we then went to disseminate. That's a way. What we measure for promotion, for literature, for quality, for job market, for whatever lah. General quality article, dissemination is an impact. How? Journal level by journal level metric, article level metric, author level metric, and all metric. Okay, you see, journal, article, author, and all metric. All metric is open, everything. Okay, journal level, we have WAS and Scopus, as I explained before. Journal impact factor, yes, we have 5 years, and decade also have, but normally effect factor itself is only 2 years. Okay, Egan factor score and article influence, this is for certain Egan factor value. Okay, size score, okay, and SNIP, source normalized, this is Scopus, SJR, Simago, so Scopus. Article level, we have how many things on how many times, how many download, how many your area for paper with which area discipline, all that. Okay, cross area discipline. Okay, Google Scholar is very general. Everything they put in, but as for we want to see where our paper read and download is okay, but to see the quality is not there. Google Scholar is very general, too much. This is an example of Google Scholar. Okay, if I have a lot of citation from non-Scopus example, then become very high on actually that or that because of non-Scopus side. Okay, autometric, the most highest usage is actually that. That's autometric, and also they have G index, M index, so many index. Okay, and where to find, of course, Scopus, very simple, and Web of Science, Google Scholar, and also some software like Harzing, they do something that for the citation index. Okay, Almetric, this is view of everything. Okay, example, how many times downloaded, how to read, who read, meaning that. Okay, that's the Almetric. This is done by Pittsburgh Library System. They calculate everything this, and people want to see Okay. Okay, that's all from my side. If you have something to ask or something to discuss or whatever, I'm open. This is my mobile number, WhatsApp number, and also my email. Okay, if you can take it or you can snap, and especially if you are in a mechanical area, okay, then please welcome for collaboration or something or discussion, okay, from anywhere in the world. Okay, next session will be by Professor Kumaran. He will be on writing strong effective manufacturing manufacturing script until resubmission conclusion, dealing with peer review, all that. Okay, thank you. Please. Okay, Prof Kumaran, floor is yours.
Okay. Okay, thank you so much, Prof. Noor, for your detailed presentation just now. Okay, so I don't want to further ado. So I think it's already night now, going to be 10 o'clock. Okay, so good evening, everyone. The journal, Prof. Noor already talk about the scopus, impact factor, how you want to select it, how the hash index look like, and everything. So now we enter how you want to prepare a strong and effective journal. If you want to send to the scopus or conference, is different. So sometimes you can prepare very less data, very less literature. But when you want to submit to the impact factor journal, you need to go for a good preparation before you go for that. Okay, for the journal manuscript, at least 3-4 points you need to highlight first. First, key aspect. In the key aspect itself, you need to see the significant. What's the study significant? So is it got any good significance for that particular journal? For example, you want to publish in fuel. So you're doing something new in the fuel or something new technique or something new in the method itself. So this is the part you need to highlight the significance. Or you can talk about originality. So your originality of your manuscript itself. Then you need to prepare for the peer review process, revision, then style conversion. So nowadays, most of the journal, if you see journal finder, you can see that any like Elsevier, let's say you study about the fuel, you just type the keyword fuel, the journal will be fine for you. Then you can see each journal when the journal going to be get your first decision. Then from the first decision, how you want to go further, how many long the journal going to take. Okay, then after that, after the peer review, you can get the revision. So in the revision, you need to prepare it nicely, how the rebuttal form, you need to prepare it, how you want to answer the question by the review itself. Then of course, you need to make sure your structure, your ethical consideration, very important now. So some of the journal, when you submit to them, the first they do, they check at the plagiarism, like Prof. Mat saying just now. So they want to see the ethical consideration. So roughly 2 days back, I'm also one of the review for the fuel and the energy journal in Elsevier. So one of the paper, we received it. So I'm also co-editor. Then we found out the paper AI is almost 40%. So automatically we don't give any chance for the paper because nowadays you can see in the energy, in the energy journal in Elsevier, it's almost 200 paper, 300 paper in queue. So there's no time for us to ask the author to to receive back or to reduce the similarity or no. Nothing such that really. We found out the AI is so high or plagiarism is so high that directly we're going to reject it. Okay. Then second, you need to put in your mind what's the purpose you want to publish the paper, what kind of data that you want to publish. So you can see the original research or where you want to contribute the knowledge. So this is the item that you need to think before you start to write your journal. Okay, then go to your structure details. So the basic structure detail, most of the journal, of course, you need to get your title, abstract, or introduction, result, method, conclusion, reference, and discussion. So this is the basic structure of the any journal that you need to know. And then outcome. So you need to say of the outcome, the finding. You need to show the graph. You need to show the outcome of your research, so that when we as a reviewer or editor, we saw your paper, we feel that, okay, the paper got some instance, some strong instance for that particular area. This is when you sell a journal, very important. Don't, you already, your paper strong in field, but you send to energy. So of course, we as an editor in energy, we feel that this is not really nice. That's why sometimes you can see that when you submit, what they do, they ask you to transfer to other journal. At least they give you some chances. So better find a proper journal, then try to co-relate with the journal. If fuel, then make sure your finding on the fuel itself strong and the outcome is a very knowledgeable and very beneficial for the reader of that journal itself. Okay, so for importance for your paper writing in the manuscript, excuse me. Okay, when we want to see your manuscript in academy, so you need to know your paper going to be read by other reviewer or other people in your research field. So they want to see that the paper is a very effective communicate with that pupil. So you need to well craft your manuscript, clearly communicate the research questions, methodology, result, and the implications. This clarity not only for you, but for the peer reviews, reader to understand the contribute that you already did. So you need to understand. So because your paper going to be read not only yourself, but around the world. So people need to see that maybe they want to rerun back your experiment. So that's why you need to be very clear and very knowledgeable contribution of the paper. The number two you need to see is a professional recognition. So publication in a very high impact journal. So you need to know once your data is good, what then they publish in a high impact, then your experimental, your data is a very useful and a very high impact for that particular research itself. Then you need to, basically you need to, for your contribution to the knowledge itself. So make sure this point is very important. So you want to contribute to the knowledge of that particular area. So you need to highlight the knowledge of that things. Then of course you need to peer review acceptance as a postgraduate students, or as me as a researcher, we want to know the feedback. Is it I'm doing the correct researcher? Is it I'm doing the correct data or the correct procedure? So this is how we want to judge, because we need somebody to judge in our field. So we need to send with a good impact factor journal. So when good impact factor journal, there is a lot of review in that field whereby they can eventually they can highlight any mistake or any technique. Okay, for example, when I did my PhD, when I submit my first paper in Elsevier, that time is JAMP, Journal Manufacturing Process, I think, that time. So the best part, when they read my paper, the reviewer give me one comment that time. Why not you not use your neural network or artificial intelligence to predict your data? Okay, I'm as a PhD student that time, that's the first time I encountered that. What is this neural network? What it doing? That is something new knowledge for me. So I go and search, then we go and find the expertise that learn about the AI that time. In 2003, 2003 to 2004, that time, neural network is a quite new and so on. So this is the knowledge that we can get when people review your paper and so on. Then of course, the last one, of course, is the educational impact for, not for the outsider, for other people, education. So other postgraduate, other researchers, they want to know about that field itself. Okay, so this is the basic overview for the any paper they write. So it doesn't matter the impact is 20, 16, or any impact, you must get your title, you must go for your abstract, there must be an introduction, methodology, result, discussion, and conclusion, and reference, acknowledgement, and so on. So this is the basic concept. So you can see how the time shape from the big, it becomes small, and it's a big. So it means the first few items, that is the important of your parts. That's your what's your real problem, why you want to solve it, why you want to write for the journal. Then you want to see the background and what's the theory and where the theory, what the theory you use, and so on. Then you want to choose the design and the method, the experimental, is it state of art, or you modify something new, and so on. So that's the small part that where is a data collection. That's where you did your data collection and so on. Then from your data collection, you come out to your results. From the result, depend on you what method you want to use. Is it statistical analysis? Is it AI? Or is it numerical method? Then from each result, then there must be a detail of discussion with a very proper citation and a very proper finding and justification. Is it your finding is correct or not? Why you're finding like that? What's the phenomena? It must be a storyline where the discussion must be related back to your background and theory, where you already talk about the theory background from other people, relate that thing back to your discussion. Then, of course, back to conclusion. So you conclude all your finding with a proper and a strong conclusion. Okay, then another type, just now is the experimental part, papers. Then nowadays you can see a lot of people doing a lot of review paper, article review. Then as a student, there's a lot of students asking, so how to write a review paper? Okay, review paper is a concept almost similar, but you need to understand there's no data that you measured or anything. That basically you're going to take from other people data, then you want to discuss what's their finding from the olden year to the current year. Okay, so first, of course, you got your title, then you got all the citation of the article, then you got article identification, then you introduce it, summarize the article, critique it, then finally you need to craft and conclusion. Currently, we receive a lot of paper review for energy journal, for example. They just reporting the data only. Okay, for example, I give researcher A and B. They found out when we put something in that liquid, the property of the liquid is increased. That's all. So this is what we call, it's not critical at all. You just reporting the data from other people. It's correct, you finding that, why he got that? Why make that particular liquid improve the property? So what's the reason in the paper? Then you summarize that things. So you criticize that paper, then you analyze the paper. This is what we call a good review paper itself. Okay, so back to title. How you want to write the title? Because title is the most important part nowadays. If your title is too lame, not interesting at all, then people will say, okay, next paper. Because there's a lot of queue you need to understand. Again, I say there's a lot of queue in the journal. We as editor, we need to be fast. So first impression, it must be good, your title. So try to choose your first element title with a great strong impression and influence whether they choose to read or not. So you can see a good title and very specific and strong title. Like for example, hydrogen where automotive. I think it's a very lame and very simple kind of title where people will say that, what is this? What's hydrogen? What the meaning of that? What in the vehicle? Or when you put that new green hydrogen with a design engine with 2.55 cc of engine plus something that very specific and very impactful. People say, oh, okay, a small kind of engine, they use a hydrogen. Okay, nice. Then if you put numerical, then add on the numerical, okay, with the analysis numerical method or statistic method, something like this. Okay, then number two, you need to see your title is a very visible when they search it, because Most of the people, you know, we as a student, we just type hydrogen. They must put a hydrogen. Then you come out all the hydrogen automotive. Okay, so you need to understand that. So you need to put these keywords: hydrogen, automotive, then other parts. What people normally search for that paper, because when your paper is visible to search, then your paper easy to be cited. Okay, then number 3, you need to convey the essence. This is also quite important for the title. So the title should encapsulate the essence of the manuscript itself. So that when people read your title, they really can understand what's the key focus or research or the significance of that paper itself. Then you need to draw the target audience, who you want to engage in. So you clearly indicate the subject matter with drawn, who is the reader, the target audience. So if your automotive, you want your automotive people, you send to automotive journal, make sure your title related with automotive. If you send to the energy journal, make sure your title engage with some of the element of the energy itself. Then finance facilitating the citation. So a good paper, a good title, or memorable, informative title, very easier are the research. Like I say earlier, when your title is a good, nice, people love it, then they remember your paper. So your paper will be visible. Then it's easy to get the citation itself. Okay, so this is the summarize for your title. Write the title after you finish your paper. So this is my concept. Normally I write all the things, then you go for the title lastly, because when you write all your paper, the body of the paper, then you can generate a very good kind of idea what the title you want to choose that relate to your manuscript. Then number 2, keep it clear, concise, and attractive. And number 3, ensure that the title isn't too long or too short. It's a medium, don't be too short or very long kind of title. Then use keywords, like I informed earlier, use your keyword and phrases from your paper itself, because that's the important to say that what your manuscript about that. Then you back to ensure that the title indicate exactly what your research is about. Then check whether the title reflect the tone of your paper itself. Try to read, put a few titles, number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Then you see which one is more suitable to your paper itself. Please avoid acronyms, abbreviation, and jargons. Please avoid these kind of things. Then finally, ensure that your paper deliver what the title promise. So make sure your title, when you say this is a new solar materials engaging energy, make sure in your paper there's a solar, there's a energy, and that is a part increment in the energy. Because we come across title is so good, when we read the manuscript, it's totally different. The title is different. Actually, it's not really 100% in the manuscript itself. They say about automotive or energy, but inside the text, they talk not even a single point of the energy. They talk more to other part of the like automotive and so on. So this is a redundant among the title and the manuscript body itself. Some of example. So you can see some of the examples. So research paper, this is a research paper. You see that improving the thermophysical property. Okay, people understand that. Okay, the paper is regarding thermophysical property. First impression, there is some improving. So this is the significance of hybrid nanocellulose, that is between copper and CNC. So people can see that got two material mix as a lubricant additive, a novel lubricant for tribology application. So from the title, you can see the keywords ready. It's a hybrid material. Secondly, want to improve thermophysical. Thirdly, the application should be in the tribology itself and lubricant additive. So these are 4 keywords. When the editors see that, they already know. Okay, the paper should be consists of these 4 important points. Okay, then we see the example of the review papers. Okay, you see that state of the art review. Okay, we already informed that on the electrolyte for sodium ion battery. Dot dot. We want to talk about the practitioner, recent progress, and technical challenges. So that's the keyword. First, electrolyte, sodium ion battery, recent progress, technical challenges. 4 important points. So when the editor saw that, he know that, okay, this paper going to be talk about the electrolyte of the sodium and what's the progress current happening, what's the technical challenge you're going to be facing. So make sure in the paper itself must be got the technical challenge and the recent progress. Because a lot of paper, they say the technical challenge, but in the paper, they never mention. Maybe they mention a small portion only. If small portion, don't ever put in the title because that not reflect your total manuscript. Okay, now we go to the abstract. Abstract, 4 points. You just remember that. First, you see that when it's suggested to write an abstract when the rough draft or research paper is completed. So it's almost similar. When you finish your introduction, matter, result, everything, then you can go to your abstract itself. Then what? Abstract is a summary of the research paper. Summary, but it's got the important details. Then why? Why is abstract written? To get a brief understanding of the whole research paper. So people see the title, they already know, okay, the paper going to talk about this and that. Then from the abstract, they understand what's the total paper about. Okay, then how? Essay written either in structure or unstructured format, in descriptive way or in an informative way. So make sure you start. I think there's a technique, a lot of people technique lah, but basic technique, they start with some introduction, problem statement, objective, then they go with the method or material, then they go for the result, then they go for some important discussion, put some result there, then finally some of the important conclusion. Don't ever put everything. Result, make sure you put a lot of quantitative result. How many percent improvement? Just on the title, improvement of thermophysical. You put that. From the research, we found that the improvement of the thermophysical in thermoconductivity maybe 20% or 30% of the hybrid material. So this is the important result. Then from there, you go to the conclusion. What happened most of the abstract? Don't have any numbers in your abstract. Make sure if you are experimental paper, must have the numbers in your abstract because the numbers will be indicate your experimental improvement or the percentage efficiency and so on. Okay. Okay, this is a basic difference, main difference between the abstract of your review paper and abstract for your research paper. Purpose for review paper, of course, you're going to summarize the scope, content, finding, and comprehensive literature review. So you already download a lot of paper, a lot of literature. Then from there, you're going to be summarize the scope, what you're going to talk. So what is about. But for the research paper, you need to discuss the main research, question, hypothesis, or aim of the study itself. Then in methodology, basically you outline the selective literature, then how you select, what they analyze, you find out from the literature. Maybe you download 100 paper. From this 100 paper, what the important literature that you can come out and so on. But in a research paper, you're going to talk about the experimental design, method, or what's the procedure you did. So what's the other method or state of art and so on. So data presentation, of course, in a review paper, we cannot put any numbers because you're going to synthesize the discussion, then the finding from a lot of studies. Meanwhile, in a research, that's why I say must put the specific data or result or statistic significant. That is a must. Scope, you cover a broad range study within a particular field or topic. So you need to cover a big range because let's say you cover nanofluid, for example, review of nanofluid in automotive, for example. So you need to cover a big range of that things. But for research, you focus on the particular experimental or particular study. The significant, you need to highlight the trend, themes, and gap in the literature. Okay, this is important, gap in the literature. This is the significance of your review paper study. Meanwhile, in your research paper, you need to discuss the implication of the finding of your research. Okay, so what your research finding? So improve how many percent? If your improve 20%, then write your new material improve 20% of the thermal heat and so on. The conclusion, of course, offer general conclusion and nothing much in the review paper. It's a general conclusion and insight-based review literature, all your literature, so you come out your own conclusion. Meanwhile, for your research, you need to conclude what is your experimental data, your finding, and that is your conclusion. For recommendation, may suggest direction of future research base of the review paper itself. You can highlight your own thinking. So in the further up, so this and this can be go for the new kind of literature. But for the research, you suggest practical application, further research needed and so on. Okay, this is a quick example. So I put just now. So you can see that for the research paper, you can see that there's a number. Okay, concerning viscosity by 44.3%, 47.1%. So you see a lot of numbers in the abstract itself. So this is the people want to know the abstract itself. So what is that and so on. Okay. Meanwhile, you can see in your review. So basically, you want to see that this is the latest comprehensive discussion related to sodium, different electrolyte, particular focus on advantage, disadvantage, and so on. So basically, we download a lot of journals. So from there, you already conclude, you already find out, you already synthesize it. So you already got the idea. So what's the next to put? So you cannot put no data and so on because this is more to your literature from the other people. Okay, we enter for the literature review, how you want to write a literature. Just remember this silicon. Okay, so remember the silicon, a big storyline, always start your background, nice background. So like why, for example, hydrogen, why you want to do hydrogen? Why hydrogen? Why no electrical? Why no fossil fuel? Why? So right from a lot of literature, why you want to use the hydrogen? What's the background of it? Why so important? So what's the hydrogen is important with the current situation? Why the hydrogen is important with the current trend? Why? Okay, that is the introduction. You see, it become big topic. General first. Just imagine you put a general stemmer background, then come out with a narrow category of research. So hydrogen in what? You want to do a green hydrogen in automotive, or you want to do a green hydrogen in maybe you integrate the solar with electrolysis to produce the hydrogen. So this is come out a big storyline about hydrogen, come smaller to the research line, then take a lot of people, why people using automotive hydrogen, why people want to integrate the solar with the electrolysis to come out, produce the hydrogen, why, why? They'll find a lot on the literature, why this thing, why people doing this, so what's the efficient, how much increment, so green or what, and so on. Then come out very narrow to your closest study to your research that you're using. Let's say you're using hydrogen in automotive, but with a small car. Then you come out with another specific one. So what's the gap from the big, can see that's the scenario, right? From the big background overall about hydrogen, come research to the automotive, then come back to the small car. So you can, from there, you can say that with a lot of literature, maybe the small car people are enhancing now. People are using maybe a different technique to produce the hydrogen in the car. But from your technique, you're using fuel cell, where you think about that, your fuel cell will be more higher efficient for your small car. And this is the gap of your literature. Okay, then finally your stemmer. So from all the storyline, from the big, small, and smaller. because most of the literature where as an editor we found out that is a lot of not arrangement. Suddenly hydrogen, suddenly talk about vehicle, then suddenly talk about solar, then suddenly talk about wind integrated with hydrogen. So the line is not nice. The storyline is not nice. So it's like your director, you direct a movie. So like you're watching a movie, right? So you see the movie climax before you come to the climax, you come talk about the person slowly, and so on. The same goes to your journal paper. Talk about your background, narrow it, and come to the gap of your literature and so on. Okay, this is the mind mapping from preparation of literature. This is a few part that you need to remember, but the important one, please, you must have thematic organization, like I say just now. Please organize your literature. Don't do like suddenly A, B, then suddenly back to A, then suddenly go to B, then suddenly go to A. No. If you do the storyline A, B, C, D, and E, always symmetric extraction, define the concept, present the research question problem, what's the problem, why you want to do that, then discuss the implication. Don't simply reporting only, discuss the literature. If researcher A find this increase 20%, why he found it 20%? What's the method he used? What's the factor that influenced that? Right there. Then you compare the studies. Then you evaluate the strength and limitation that the current method having or the current material is having. Now, then you go back to define your scope nicely, and then you organize your topic, outline your development, draft preliminary structure first. Whatever, draft first. Try to read 2 or 3 times, then back again. Okay, this is some of the examples. You can see that for the review paper example, you can see that there's a mostly is a storyline. The electric power of non-plasma is relative low because you see because of why temperature of neural specimen remain constant, whereas that of electron increase dramatically. This create radical and excited species that initiate and so on. So this like you tell it, this guy find this because of that, and this is the influence of that. Meanwhile, for your experimental paper, you see there must be a lot of numbers in your literature itself. Okay, when they use PCM at different concentration, they discover increase 0.02, the best. Then suddenly another one, the composite content 0.06 with 2.0, they produce higher latent. Then the additional with 0.7 nanoparticle PCM, the thermal conductivity increased by 100%. So this is how you discuss it. When you increase it, you discuss of the few literature. So from there, we know that, okay, a lot of people using this, and then come out what you're going to do. And then after you finish your literature, your methodology. So methodology, a few important part. First, start with the research question or hypothesis. Then you write your research question nicely. What's the experiment that you want to do? How the experiment you want to conduct? What's the standard that you want to use? Then you describe the research design, how you design your research using DOE or using numerical method or using CFD, anything, you discuss it. If you're using participant or subject, then you discuss about the participant subject, how many procedure they use, how the qualitative, quantitative, or use mixed method. Explain the design nicely, completely. Don't simply you explain suddenly one method, then you stop it. No, try to discuss your experimental detail. Put a very good picture of your experimenter, label it, then explain in detail it, how you run the experiment, how you take the measurement, what's the equipment that you use, what's the limitation that you put it there, how you calibrate your sensor, what's your calibration method that you use. Okay, then if you use any ethical consideration, please highlight that. Then discuss the design. the limitation of your experimental? Maybe your equipment, what's the limit of your equipment? So this, maybe your temperature, you're using thermocouple. So what's the limitation of this thermocouple? So how you calibrate it and so on. Okay, then use the appropriate terminology. Then finally, the important against the guidelines. So certain journal, the methodology guideline is different. Please read it properly. Any journal you submit, then you write your methodology itself. This is some example how the methodology, you see, preparation on underflow. Explain detail slowly from how the method, how you prepare it, who else already prepare it, how percent you prepare it. Put the important picture only. Don't put the any equipment. How to say, unless your equipment is a very unique equipment, then you can put in the paper, or unique experiment setup, then you could put in the paper itself. If it's a very common equipment, common setup, no need to put in the things. Okay. Then when you talk about the stability, then measure how you done the stability study, how you done it, what the equipment you did it, so how you calibrate it, so what's the method or theory that you use for the measurement. The same goes to when you measure kinematic dynamic viscosity. List down how you done the measurement, how the kinematic measurement done, what's the formula that the machine using, so what's the limitation, and so on. So this is very important, because why? Editor or reviewer, when they go through, they want to see your method is correct. Then they believe your result is correct. If your method is some doubts is there, then automated review say your result is not correct. So it's something wrong with your result itself. When you discuss nicely your method, no doubts regarding your method, equipment, and so on. So basically, we as a reviewer, we feel that, okay, the result should be nice and correct, because the method is very detailedly explained. Okay, then we go to result discussion. This is the heart of the paper. So you result how you want to justify your result and your discussion. So when you write your result, please present the finding. Start by clearly presenting your research finding. Use good figures, tables, or graph where appropriate illustrate your data efficiently. Try to use a good software like a Sigma plot or Origin to plot your graph. Excel is okay, no problem, but make sure it's look nice, clear, and all the equation or what, please stated in that graph itself. Then concise objective, report your result concisely, sticky and what data that you want to reveal. If you feel this table not important, don't put. Put only important graph, unique results. Then you put, like for example, you're using some nano coolant or what, from you need to compare with other people. Put your error discussion, error plot, and something like that. This is kind of important result. If you use statistic, please use your statistic things like ANOVA tables, very important, significant or insignificant. You discuss it, okay? Then make sure sequence your result logically. So it means if you use just now, like you see previously in metrology, when we talk about prepare of the nano, then we measure stability, viscokinetic. Make sure your result also follow the same. You come up with the result of your nano lubricant. When you mix, you do your SAM, FTI, everything, discuss it. Then how you done your UV, put the graph, then so on. So this will be look more nicer when the reviewer read, very systematic. When your methodology in order, then your result discussion also in the order itself. Then, like I say, use this as statistic. If you use statistic, please include your mean, median, percentage, all this important data. If you use numerical method, put all the good graph, figures, and so on. Report of all key findings. Please report only your good findings, important findings that you feel that this data can bring the significance of that finding or for your paper itself. Then finally, reference for your figures or tables, make sure these are very important. Table 1, table 2, table 3, and then in the text, make sure it's stated table 3 discussing is one, figures discussing is one. This is very important because we feel if you're some of the researcher, they are very careless. They just suddenly 1, 2, suddenly 3, 4 don't have, suddenly 5, 6, 7, all jumble up. So we as a reviewer, we feel like so tired to find where's the figure and so on. So then we give a very bad comment. So we review as a human being, we need to take care of that. So please, even though it looks small, but please in the systematic way and a good presenting style. Then come to discussion. Okay, when you put your result, please discuss, interpret your result with a good finding, with a good questions, hypothesis. When the graph increase, please relate why it's increased. Try to relate to your literature or to your method of the finding itself. Because when you relate, so people nice to read. When they read your findings, people nice to, oh, okay, this is the literature that this guy stated. So this literature back to the findings. So it's a very good systematic. So like contextual with the existing literature, compare and contrast your finding with the previous study, discuss how your result align or different from other researcher and why this thing happened. Then discuss the implication, talk about the significance of your finding, how they impact the field, what's their practical or theoretical implication. Then acknowledge the limitation. Every study has a limitation. Be honest. This is very important. Be honest. Don't suddenly increase 90% or suddenly increase too much of percentage. I just acknowledge. If you feel that thing increase only 5 to 8%, just stated that 5 to 8%. If your simulation go to 10%, just stated 10%. Why? Maybe this is the might be some of the error happen and so on. Then you can suggest in your finding, you can suggest in some of your future research, or you can avoid stating your conclusion in your result discussion. Okay, this is some of the examples. How the result, you see the graph is a nice graph with a system plot, put a different legend. This is the people said nice presentation of the graph. Then try to relate all the, see, like you say, according to 62, visco is affected by the adhesive force among liquid molecules. In accordance, the molecule are impacted by a larger quantity of energy and greater temperature. This is the example how you discuss your finding. So people read, people will look more nicer. So your finding become more justified, more strong comment itself. Okay, for the review paper, this is very common what people did. They put a table there, then they put nicely put one by one by one. Then they put all the reference there. Then they put in a table what the PS solution, working potential capacity. So all the data in a one table. Then you can discuss the data in the sentence itself. This is a very nice what you say in a review paper itself. Or some new review paper, they try to put in mind map, up to you, mind map, but make sure it's not jumble up. Nice kind of mind map or flow chart. It's depend on the how your data look like. But when you put table, try to draw this kind of table. You see, this kind of table will look nice and not a lot of lines, just two lines, arrange it nicely and so on. Okay, then in conclusion, I think this is the conclusion that you need to write. So overall, I can summarize. In conclusion, please summarize the key findings. Okay, because I read a lot of conclusion, a lot of researcher coming up. They just put very simple, but the result is very good. Findings very nice, but they just simply put a very small kind of literature only. So you try to put all the important, summarize the key finding, discuss the significance. If you got one good conclusion, try to put 4 or 5 good conclusion on that part itself. Okay, this is some of the my mind map so that you can put in your conclusion. Depend on your conclusion, like use clear language, recommend future research, reflect the limitation. then provide discuss the significant, restate the objective, then you contribute the knowledge, what's the contribution, and so on. Okay, then we go to some of the peer review process. So when you've done all the paper, manuscript done, then you want to submit. Okay, this is very important. Paper is good, edited nice, then they go to the reviewer. Then of course, reviewer going to read, then give you comment. So how you want to justify your comment? Please, when you answer the comment, please use a very good rebuttal form, or please specific your focus feedback, constructive tone, use a positive, don't put a very harsh or harmful kind of words, because this will make your paper rejected. Give example evidence to support your feedback. When the review say why your result like this, then you support feedback and so on. Give the time delivery and open a dialogue. So it's a become open communication. You can say that, then maybe he reply back, then you can answer that in a very good manner. Please follow this. When your paper is already go to reviewer back to you, ask you the revision, this is a very good chance for you to get accepted the paper. Please don't waste it, because if you're not answering a good kind of answer, then of course the reviewer going to reject it. Okay, this is example. I give a example. You see, kind of response. The flow induction is difficult to follow. The whole induction flow is changed. The author did not discuss the magazine apply. The magazine has per introduction. So what is that? Nothing constantly. If I'm the reviewer, of course I'm going to reject the paper because nothing is there. So what you did? What's the change you did? So you see the good response. Line 30 to 40 can be moved as per the set. Okay, these lines are removed. The same with much detail as this in section 2.3. These lines are replaced with the abstract by few detail of the research work carried out at the line 24 at page 1. So how detailed you see the good response. So when reviewers see this kind of thing, of course they will see that, okay, this is nice. He respect my review comment. He answer in a very good manner, rather than thank you, the text modified, problems addressed, and so on. So you can differentiate the good response and the bad kind of response. Okay, this is some of my tips for you to increase chance of acceptance of your paper. So I just go very fast on this one. So please, whatever you follow the guideline of publisher, different publisher going to get your different guideline. Please follow Elsevier, follow their guideline. Taylor Francis, follow their guideline. Wiley, follow their guideline. Then each journal have the narrow scope. Please read the scope. Then take a time. Then you write your paper according to the scope, the journal that you're going to be send it. Editor, if your native language not English, please find this very sensitive. Please find a good speaker, or you give proofread your paper, because there's some of the editor, even the language not good, they're going to reject it because there's a queue, long queue for the paper. Okay, research methodology, like I said before, be true. Go very detail of methodology, because some of the paper rejected because they're incomplete. You should ask yourself whether your manuscript discuss full study or make a some observation only. You can say that, please discuss detail and so on. Another common reason for rejection, because using flow method. If you did not follow recognized procedure, then you have to explain your methodology in what way you can repeat by others. Because very important, because your research, whatever you put in the methodology, maybe researcher B or C going to be try your research, because there is a retraction, a lot of paper retraction. I think if you see data, Malaysia, I think number 3 or number 4, a lot of paper getting retraction. So it means the methodology, please, whatever result you get, don't modify. Please put a correct methodology. When researcher A, they done the same thing, they found out, oh, I couldn't get what he said. You say your thermal conductivity increased 20%. When he followed the same thing, he don't have the increment. Then he going to report to the editor need to find you, and a lot of process. Okay, please careful of that. Finally, does your paper support conclusion presented? Then further under framing. Okay, framing is another thing. So the technical aspect, discuss the section above. And the methodology, please methodology put a very proper one. Okay, framing, this is a new things. So the harder aspect to address when editing your article before submission is framing. Technical aspect, methodology, fuzzy criteria. What is framing? How you present your research is question your study answer. According to Elsevier survey report, editor like article that, this is important, provide insight into an important issue and useful to people who make decision. So like previously we say, that's why in your abstract, you already highlight the paper, what's the significant, what's the important, who the reader going to read. So when this is justified, the editor going to send for the next thing and so on. Okay, another framing is making sure your draft tell a good story. Did you frame the right question around the data you have? After discuss your data, is it your conclusion logical in the story? If not, you may want to think reframing your study, create a proper article. Always read and read and read to make sure the flow of your paper is there. It's in good flow. It's not a jumble up or it's a very bombastic kind of flow. No, it's a very good flow, a good story, and so on. Okay, this is a takeaway before I ending my talk. Focus on quality and originality, understand the journal scope, comprehensive literature review, clear and logical structure, strong methodology rigor, concise and precise writing, effective data presentation, engage and informative title and abstract. Then enhance the ethical guideline, rigorous editing, and proofreading, prepare for peer review, understand the impact factor matrix. Okay, so this is the my final tips before ending. Okay, thank you so much. So I back to Prof. Mat. Okay, Prof.
Thank you, Prof. Kumaran. Now we have about 10 minutes maximum for the Q&A. I believe we are already quite late. Okay. First question, I prepare your question, and the first question I read from chat. The first question here is Din from Din, D-I-N. Why Elsevier Springer have option to pay and also as open access and subscription? That's one question. And then question two is Springer and Elsevier open access only. Is it predatory? Okay, I answer the first part first. Why Springer and Elsevier having author pay? Actually, journal cost or journal fees or journal management cost, server cost, all costs actually paid by a few parties. Example, we take some journal paid by authors, some journal paid by readers. Like Elsevier Springer normally paid by readers, subscription. Some journal paid by government, like University Journal. Government pay our salary, then we make it open, author free, reader free. That's paid by government. And some journal is mixed together. They have share the cost. Okay. Anyway, the question on this, why some having open access and subscription? Normally for Elsevier and Springer, is actually two big brand name in journal business. Okay. They are normally on subscription, mean that reader is paid. Reader is paid, university paid, and also institutional paid for the people, researcher to read. But anyway, lately, last 5 years, 10 years, they open certain paper for author to make it open access. When open access, then author paid extra, the paper will be open, then the paper will become visible to any country. Because some third world countries, some institution, they don't have money for subscription. A few $100,000 a year, 1 million, 2 million a year, something like that. Okay, that's a part one. Part two, you ask here is about Springer, why having only open access, and is it predatory? No. Predatory journal, normally we go by brand. Easy to say, we go by brand. If Elsevier, Springer, Wiley, and all those big brand, they don't have predatory at all. Okay, The predatory journal is actually the brand that not that new journal or new in the middle. They are looking for cash. Yeah. Then sometimes they want to so-called scam the author. Then they want to fast for author want fast. They also want fast. Then become 1-2 weeks paper submission. Then process and online 2-3 weeks. That's the predatory. But for Springer, for the Wiley, for the Xavier brand itself, it's not as predatory lah. Okay, that's the answer for DIN date. Yes. Okay. We can take maybe 1 or 2 question more because already near to 11. Any question? You can open your mic and ask me or Prof. Kumaran. We can answer it. Any question, please? If any, or everything clear? For the recording, I will make it online by next week, maybe Tuesday, Wednesday, something like that. That we have to download first. Then I put in the example YouTube or something. Then I will share the link. For those who want the link, then please send the message to me lah. That from the number. I give you the number there. Okay. Any other question?
Assalamualaikum.
Oh, so many. Now so many questions. I see. Yeah, please.
Assalamualaikum.
Waalaikumsalam. Please.
Okay, thank you, Prof, for the good presentation. Please, my question is there any minimum number that is given for a review paper? Maybe you want to carry out a review on a particular area. Is there a limit that this is the minimum number of publications that you can review for that paper, or there is no limit for that?
You mean review? You review the paper, or
I mean
write the paper?
Literature review. If you want to, a review paper.
You prepare the
article.
paper, or you
Yes.
reading the paper? You prepare the paper.
Yeah, a preparation. Yes. You want to do a literature review on an area for a paper. Yes. So
Okay.
maybe let's say you have 30, 40, 60 papers that you can review. Is there a minimum, or there's no?
Okay, Prof. Kumaran, please comment. Prof.
Okay, if you want to review, for the good journals, normally it's 100 plus, 120, 130, because a good journal, they normally look into the reviews from the start until the current. So they want to see the whole process, how it look like. Okay, if you go for Scopus, they say not a high impact, you just go for Scopus. I think 60 minimum can be accepted for the Scopus itself. Okay.
That one is, I think, referral, is it?
Yeah, I think that's what he asked, I think. Is it, I'm asking your
referral?
Yes. You have answered my question. Thank you, Prof.
Okay.
I understand.
Okay,
thank you so much.
Thank you.
I appreciate it.
Okay. Any other question?
Hello. Assalamualaikum, sir.
Good.
Sir, am I audible, sir?
Yeah.
Hello.
Yeah. Please.
Sir, I want to ask you, as you shown in one of your slide, your name under the Google Scholar. So how we can check out the impact factor in that Google Scholar, sir? So for that purpose, we need to register at some platform, or what exactly? Sir, are you able to understand my question, sir?
Okay. I understand. Actually, if you say impact factor, okay, impact factor, the name itself is actually only special for WS. Okay. Then how to calculate it is as I mentioned in my slide, 2 years impact divided by 2 years quantity. That's the impact factor, official. Okay, official. And impact factor itself, they have registered, mean that only WAS can use it. Okay. Other than that is they use H index, I10, I50, and M index. So that one is other brand. But if you want to say that H index, impact factor from Google Scholar officially is not there lah. It's not there to calculate because impact factor itself is only for WOS wash. Okay. Understand the answer?
No, not exactly, sir. Not, sir. So we need to register at WOS, WOS.
Okay.
So we need to register at WOS, sir. WOS पे आके we need to register.
WOS actually, if you publish paper from to their journal, then you automatically will be there, like Scopus same. That's we call it author or something like authors automatically registered as part of the that journal or that system. You no need to register. Same as Google. Google, if you publish a paper and go into the internet, your name is there already. But for Google, you have to claim. You go there, you search, and this is me, example, that for the beginning or for the first time. You don't need to register, so-called register.
Okay, okay. Okay, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you so much, sir.
Last question before we close. Any other question? Last one.
Sir, I need to thank for the platform which we have created. Thank you so much, Jazakallah, sir. I'm basically from Mumbai, India.
Okay.
Thank you, sir, for such a great initiative which you all have taken for that. Thank you, sir.
Okay. Thank you. Okay, basically, me and Professor Kumaran, we plan to have series of sharing, short sharing like this lah. But this one become too long. Actually, we plan 1 hour, we now become 2 hours. Short sharing, and also we do many type of sharing after this, and also we invite also young researchers to share their angle or something from time to time. Then you register, then maybe you are in our you are now in our circle of influence already. Thank you very much for the certificate. E-cert, we will prepare it, but bear in mind, we are lecturers and now it's ending semester, we are marking and everything. There will be take some time. I also we plan to prepare this e-cert and send to all of you lah. Okay. And for the recording, as I mentioned before, next week, if I didn't give you, then you can WhatsApp to me lah. I give number. Okay. Thank you very much for participating in this one. I think overall registration is about 150% on off, and also from about 10 country, including the from Cameroon. I feel that wow, a few people from Cameroon also coming. Normally India, Saudi, that's all normal. Iraq, Iran, Indonesia, that's common. But from Cameroon, thank you for joining. Okay, and lastly, Prof. Moray, anything to say? Short one before we close. Before we take a photo, don't forget.
Okay, thank you for everyone for coming. So hope some of the knowledge and some of the basic things all of you got it for to publish a paper. Okay, thank you.
Okay, thank you very much for Prof. Kumaran, and thank you everyone for the joining. Can you open the camera? Who can open? We want to take photo for memory for those who can on lah. And you also can take photo, and if you take good photo, you can share to me lah.
Okay, let me take the photo first.
Okay. Ashad.
Yes, doctor. Actually, I'm taking it.
Okay.
You are sharing the screen because it's coming like
No,
in the middle.
I didn't share anything. No. Okay, can we change to something like I don't know how they change it. The background with white chair, all that. I don't know where is it. Who can do it?
Let me check.
View, I think.
Yeah,
Ah,
I will check it in the.
good. Oh, large gallery. I know.
Together mode, Prof.
Mod apa tu?
Together
Boleh tukar?
mode.
Okay.
Get together mod. Where is it?
Okay. Now it's fine. Now it's fine.
Okay.
It's large gallery. I will take the photo. Okay.
Okay.
Ready. 1, 2, 3.
Ashad, there is a together mode to see the whole people, but I'm not sure where is it. View or together mode. I think
Yes,
I
doctor.
changed.
I find it.
Ah, okay.
Yes.
Is
It's
it
together mode. But it's in the class form.
Yeah.
Before-
Class form.
Okay.
Okay, Ashad, complete.
Yes, doctor. Complete.
Complete.
Thank you so much.
Okay. If okay, thank you everybody. We end here for the session. Nice to meet all of you and keep in touch. And maybe
Thank you, Prof.
we can see another session maybe maybe in 2 weeks. Okay, thank you. Bye bye.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye bye.